Jackson State tops a preseason list of the best HBCU football teams this fall. Let's talk about it. Should they have been number one? Should South Carolina State been number one? Should FAMU been number one? Let's talk about it after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is good people? My name is JeffLightsyJr. here with the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, notification bell because we upload every single day. Let's get right to it. JSU tops the BOXTOROW list as the top HBCU program heading into the fall of 2022. Second behind them is South Carolina State, followed by FAMU, Alabama A&M, Prairie View, Alcorn, North Carolina A&T, North Carolina Central, Norfolk State, and rounding out the top 10 is Tennessee State. Now, if you take a close look at this, you'll see in parentheses the number of votes for number one. And South Carolina State actually received more votes for the top spot than JSU. If they look, it looks as if there were 18 first place votes. South Carolina State received 10 of them. JSU only received 6, but in the grand scheme of total points thing, JSU got more total points edging out South Carolina State 166 to 161. Now let's take a look at the BOXTOROW article that comes with this. This is the BOXTOROW HBCU FCS Coaches Poll reveals the first top 10 ranking of the 2022 season. And the public gets his first glimpse into who could win the HBCU National Championship when games kick off in little more than a month. It's been 7 months since South Carolina State defeated Jackson State in the Celebration Bowl to claim its first national championship since 2009. Yet JSU will start the season number one, receiving 4 less first-place votes than the Bulldogs, but outpacing South Carolina State by 5 points in the poll. JSU had the number one HBCU recruiting class as ranked by BOXTOROW and returns a multitude of players led by HBCU Rookie of the Year quarterback Shedeur Sanders. The cupboard isn't exactly bare for the Bulldogs, who return 9 starters on offense and 9 on defense. Amongst the many starters include Celebration Bowl MVP wide receiver Shaq Davis. Number 3, Florida A&M. Number 4, Alabama A&M will also have something to say about who wins the championship. The Rattlers participated in the FCS playoffs last year as an at-large team, and the Bulldogs were the HBCU national champions during the 2021 spring season. Each team received 1 first-place vote. Prairie View A&M, with a new head coach Bubba McDowell, rounds out the top 5. And so let's talk about it. Others receiving votes were Southern, Grambling, Alabama State, Arkansas Pine Bluff, UAPB, Hampton, Mississippi Valley, and Dell State. So here's my thoughts. Actually, let me go back and share that once again. Let's take a look at the top 10 and where I may or may not have some issues. So JSU is number one. I understand that. I get why they're the number one. Would I have put them preseason number one? No, I wouldn't have put them preseason number one. You have to be the best. You got to beat the best. And some will say, well, South Carolina State wasn't the best. FAMU beat them. Yeah, but they were the best when it mattered most. And that was in the Celebration Bowl. We can't go back and replay that FAMU game. But on the field, South Carolina State handled theirs against JSU. Now, it's easy to put JSU number one because they're the glamour team. They're the glamour brand. They're Coach Prime. They're Shedeur. They're Travis Hunter. I get why they put them number one. But are they deserving of number one? Well, clearly not even the BOXTOROW people think they're deserving to be a number one because they have given South Carolina State 10 of the 18 first-place votes. So clearly they don't even think they're deserving of being number one. So therefore, how can you have the team with the most first-place votes as number two? I don't agree with that. So South Carolina State should be number one. JSU should be number 2. FAMU should be I don't really have too many problems with the rest of the list. I think Southern should be on the list. I don't think you can have a top 10 list without Southern on it. With Coach Dooley, with the additions that he's brought in, now granted, they have to go out and play the games. They have to go out and prove that they're going to be successful. But there's no doubt in my mind that the program that Coach Dooley is currently building and will build for the foreseeable future at Southern is top 10 worthy. I think Southern's going to finish better than every team in the top, every team from 5 down. I think Southern will be better than Prairie View, Alcorn, North Carolina A&T, North Carolina Central, Norfolk State, and Tennessee State. I think Southern, they should go slide it right there at 5. I think Alabama A&M is good. In Alabama, it's A&M and Southern is a coin flip. The Bulldogs and Southern's a coin flip. I think Southern is easily. I think the top 3 teams are clearly the top 3. I think they're clearly better than everyone. But I think Southern should be in that top 10. I think Grambling could have a case for the top 10. But more so Southern than Grambling. So that's really my only issues. I think South Carolina State should be number 1. They're bringing back 9 starters on offense, including their quarterback, including the Celebration Bowl MVP and Shaq Davis, and Corey Fields at quarterback, who I believe will be improved. You're bringing back 9 starters on defense, including your 2 edge rushers, Jablonski, and I can't think of the other young man's name, but he is a beast as well, wreaked havoc all over JSU and all throughout the season. They're going to once again wreak havoc all throughout the SWAC. I think Norfolk State losing their quarterback is tough. You're talking about the MEAC Offensive Player of the Year, losing your quarterback. That's going to be tough to overcome, where Southern is added a bunch of additions. Norfolk State lost a bunch of people, and don't sleep on Morgan State. I think Morgan State might shock some people, and with the first-year head coach, I think they may shock some people and be better than what they think and knock off a couple of MEAC schools they probably shouldn't beat. But simply because I believe Damon Wilson and those guys up there, Antoine Sewell, will be able to make a lot of noise in the MEAC. But Jackson State being number 1, I see why they did it. I don't think they should be number 1. I think that we could see a Celebration Bowl rematch in 2022, the same Celebration Bowl that we saw in 2021, and then you can prove that you're the number 1 school. Or if you go out and beat a bunch of these schools or go undefeated in the conference again, and maybe South Carolina State struggles throughout the season, but I think preseason, with all the firepower that South Carolina State is bringing back, both on offense and defense, and we're talking about bringing back 18 starters. 18 of the possible, 22 starters, you're bringing back 18? That's of a team that won an HBCU national championship. How the hell are you not number 1? Especially behind the team that you beat that lost their best player in James Houston. They lost their best player. South Carolina State's their best players came back. Now, granted, they brought their quarterback back, and he was a true freshman. He's going into his true sophomore year, so we have a year of experience, another year under his belt, a year of going through trials and tribulations throughout the season, so I get that. But South Carolina State should definitely be number 1, without question. Without question, I don't think. And I mean, hell, they even said it too, by getting 10 first-place votes. I don't know where the other points came from. Maybe JSU got more second-place votes, and that catapults them to 1. Like, think about how that sounds. You get more second-place votes. Then you get the number 2 team got more first place votes, but they didn't get as many second place votes. So they're at number 2 and you're at number 1, just simply because you got more second place votes. That's pretty crazy to me. That's crazy to me. But like I said, they will get a chance to battle it all out on the field starting this fall. And I cannot wait for the games. I love you guys and I love talking about stuff like this, but I can't wait to talk about some games. I cannot wait to talk about some games. Who did what? Who looked great? Who looked awful? Who is overrated? Who isn't? Who's underrated? Who's appropriately rated? I just can't wait till that stuff happens. But JSU ranked number 1. I see why, but I think South Carolina State should have been number 1. And the team that's not on here that should be on here and that will be on here by the season's end. See, preseason don't matter. It's about what does the rankings look like at the end of the season. And by the end of the season, I can all but guarantee the Southern will be on this list. I want to say Grambling's going to be on this list too. I'm putting a lot of faith in Coach Hugh, but I know Southern's going to be on this list. There's no doubt in my mind about that one. Grambling, I'm kind of teetering. I want to say, Grambling's going to be too, but Southern's going to be on here for sure. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, my name is JeffLightsyJr with the Black Boss Channel in Victory Formation. Hit that thumbs up button. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JLightsy7. That is on Twitter and Instagram at JLightsy7. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Peace.